How's it going? And welcome back to CueBall's Bearded Rambles. Or as I'm going to say for this one, a Fine Rambles.
That's better.
There we go.
Much better.
32. So my guest, he is the gym going, Slim and World's hating, Love Island reject, Mikey Fine.
I'm not a reject. I just haven't heard back yet. Let's just get that. It's nip in the bud now. If you look up rejection in a dictionary, it means that you've been refused. I have not been refused. I am simply waiting for my call back. And that's it. That's all I got to say on that matter.
All right. So there we go. Okay. So
more professionalism than that, to be honest, but here we go.
Yeah. So how you been?
Yeah, mate,
it's been since back last year. I think we last seen each other.
Yeah. I think the last time we seen each other was last time I had a scrap with Kenny Mandra. But yeah, it's been a while. It's been tough with lockdown and everything. Gyms opening, gyms closing, pubs opening, pubs closing. Not seeing people. It's been tough. I think it's been tough on everyone. But yeah, it's managing okay. Like I've had my ups and downs, but at the moment, touch wood, doing okay.
So what have you been doing to keep yourself sane?
Mate, anything that I can. So because when the first lockdown happened, obviously I told you about this. I was really ill before all the tests and all that had come out. So for 2 weeks before we lockdown, I was really ill. So I tried to learn how to play ukulele, which didn't last very long because I got two big hands and this like a little thing, so didn't really work that well. Then I had a paint by numbers, which went well. And yes, I have to do paint by numbers because I can do a lot of things, but being artistic like that isn't one of them. I did do running at one point. Yes, I know I done cardio, which is like alien to me as well. But since obviously the second lockdown, I've had a PS5, not that I've mentioned it once or twice, but I've been playing a lot of games, which has been quite good, to be fair.
All about this distractions, isn't it, from the crap that's going on right now?
Yeah.
I'm going. So my first question for you, Mikey, I ask everybody the same question because the millions and millions, I say the same joke every single time for the tens and tens, maybe hundreds. Watching at home, how and why did you get into the wrestling business?
So the reason why I got into the wrestling business, first up with why I got into wrestling. So my grandmother, who passed away last year, has always been a big wrestling fan. She was obsessed with Sting to the point of my prized possession is this Sting statue, which she got me. But she got me into wrestling during the Monday Night Wars. And I might get a bit of hate for this, but I was always WCW for years. I was DDP, I was Goldberg, I was WCW. And the bit that got me sort of in love with it, I can remember there was a part where Goldberg was in the ring and he had like 20 guys on him and he just got them all off. He was spearing them, jackhammering them, pretty much like a main event with him now, to be honest. But from that moment, I was hooked. And went all through school, loving it, still loving it. I had my patches where I wouldn't watch it as much, but I'd still be interested in it. I had every game coming out. The only one I haven't had is WWE 2K20 because it's a bit buggy. So hopefully the next one will be okay. But yeah, I started going through it, and I train in a gym in Blackwood for weights and conditioning. And the owner is Andrew James, who has been mentioned loads of times on here. And I used to talk to him about it. And he was like, "Oh, do you want to give it a go?" I was like, "Absolutely." So one thing led to another, and started off with four of us wrestling on upstairs in the gym, and now I'm beating up Kenny Mantra in my pants, which is fantastic.
Fair enough. We will get into the whole Kenny Mantra thing because that isn't going to get unnoticed, trust me.
It's good with it.
Yeah. So your time in Knockout Pro Wrestling, ECW, how have you found that?
Great, honestly, great. You never ask for a more supportive, caring bunch to learn the fundamentals with. It's been great from the days where it was just me, LD James, George, and Jamie's. The people that we have now. I've been there from when we were up in the gym to when we had a unit to when we had a different unit to now when we're in the Lanarth. So I've been there from the start, and it's nice to see that we've gone from such a small thing to something so good. Something this building, but yeah, really supportive, and it's good that we've obviously, say we as if, you know, I'm part of it, but, you know, I feel like you do feel like a family there. So,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
you know, we tried our best to branch out to some other promotions. Some have, you know, royally messed up. Others sort of, other ones are sort of fizzled out. But, you know, we've always sort of, you know, tried to branch out to the promotions, and more often than not, it's gone okay and just come to sort of mutual endings. But you only got to look at where some of the guys are working now. I mean, you've got Casey Wild. You've got Casey Wild, and he said his real name then, who's, you know, doing really well for himself with the exposure over there with Nigel, and, you know, he's wrestling around Coventry. You've got a lot of the other boys in sort of RWS, things like that. You've got Necrophago and Big D, who've got Slam Masters going. So, you know, there's big things there. But yeah, love it. It's like a family there. I met you there as well, so, you know, it's good. You know, nice to meet someone else with a beard that likes a beer. So great.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because obviously I was training elsewhere before I came back to wrestling and joined the Knockout VCW, and I've always found Knockout be the best place for me to be.
Yeah,
like you said, we're all like one big family. We all each have each other's back. Just, you know, it is just supportive. You know, Andrew and LD have done a great job at training us, and, you know, helping us through everything. And yeah, can't knock him.
Like, fair play to Andrew as well. Like, he gets some stick for Malenko Way and his, you know, his gin o'clock rants. You know, he gets some stick for them. But, you know, when you're there and you're doing the training and you are, you know, doing the Malenko Way and things like that, and when you do start watching, you know, things online, you're like, oh, actually, you know, that's right. You know, oh, that's right. And then when you do watch the Malenkos, then, you know, you just see it, you know, it does work, and it transitions so well into so many other different kinds of styles. So, you know, it's such a diverse style, I think, that can be adapted in so many ways.
Yeah. So what is one thing that has been drilled in your head by Andrew? Because mine was footwork. And ever since, you know, he's going on about footwork, I always look out. So if I'm watching somebody's match or on my own, I'll always not criticize about the footwork. That's the way my mentality is. So what's yours?
So the one thing that always sticks with me is don't sound like a prick. So when I first started, it was me and George used to get paid up a lot, and you know, when we were practicing, it was, you know, don't sound like a prick. So was the words that Andrew used was, you sound like you're in a German porno. So at that point, we realized we had to rein that back. So for me, you know, it's that, and it's, you know, finding that happy balance between getting shafted with a cactus and just, ow, no, please don't, please stop. So for me, that's the biggest thing that has sort of been drilled into me. That, and like you said, footwork. I don't know how many times he's made me do like a flip and get up properly. He's like, do it again. I'm like, I'm hurting. Yeah. Or the fact that it doesn't matter how hungover you are, you still got to do it. I've had some rough times. I had some rough times with that.
Don't go to work, just don't go training hungover. That's the solution. But this is Mikey Fine.
Yeah, does what he wants when he wants.
Before that goes anywhere else, we'll go to the next question. So I want to know your highs and lows of your career so far. You can go into as much detail with this if you want.
I'd say my high is probably the DWARFANATOR tour, which, thanks to Nigel over at Exposure, I got that opportunity. If it wasn't for Nigel, you know, I wouldn't have had the opportunity. And I thank him so much for that. It was great working with Alex Box. You know, them pair parted ways now, but to have that opportunity to work with Alex Box, to work with them, that was honestly, it was amazing to work with them, and they're just amazing. Let's say last week, but they class the stuff they do in. Like, I couldn't do half the stuff that they're doing. Like Rastaru, who was one of the guys who I worked with him in Swansea, and then again up in Liverpool, which was a fantastic night for completely different reasons. But he's amazing. Like, he's there and he's like hitting the shit out of me, goes up on a top rope, does this massive splash, and I'm like, wow! Like, honestly, he's sick. Like, obviously we lost all three because they are like class, but yeah, honestly, I'd say that's probably my high point. Was that. My low point, I'd say, probably personally, I'd say it's got to be my injuries from 2 years ago, where I had a concussion playing rugby to the point where I didn't recognise my sister, who was physio, to then coming back from that because it was a 6-man tag match that I actually was with you, wasn't it? And
yeah, so I was waiting for this to come up.
Yeah. I picked up a concussion there, and I just didn't rehab it. I didn't have the right amount of time off. I know, and it's pretty down to me. And for about 18, I've got about 18 months of just a blur where I was just playing, getting concussed, not giving her enough time, and playing and then wrestling, getting concussed, not giving her enough time. So it was touch and go from it whether or not I was going to be able to do it again. It got quite bad, and then come back and dislocated my shoulder. And all the while, I just finished as my real life job as a prison officer with the intention of pursuing wrestling as much more seriously. Alongside personal training, but that put a very abrupt stop to that, and that's where I'd say that's the lowest point in my wrestling career.
Yeah, that concussion, I'd blame Big D.
I think it's just the period was too strong, and
yeah, do you know what? I'm going to pop the video somewhere here so people can watch. Yeah. Just probably, it's only a couple of seconds, but you'll see. I think what it was. Like you said, me and Big D, both big guys, we just slammed you down.
I just didn't look after. Like, obviously, everyone knows when you get choke slammed, you need to look after yourself, and I just didn't.
Yeah, I've always said, you can't come into the wrestling business and not expect to get hurt. Accidents happen, nothing personal. We knew that.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Move on. We're still buddies and all that. Going back to Dwarfanators, that was my next question actually about Dwarfanators. So. I want to say this wrong. If I say something about this wrong, I do apologize. So obviously working with guys your size.
Yeah.
How hard was it to work with the Dwarfanators?
I work with Little Legs, who's worked with so many guys throughout the UK circuit. He's quite well known with regards to that. I also worked with Derek Psycho initially, and he's worked with a couple of, as they said, big guys in the States. And their whole thing of it was the easiest way to do this match is to make it comedy.
Yeah.
Because like you said, I'm 6'2" and a bit, and they're obviously not that. So we wouldn't exactly be able to lock up. Although I did try a couple of times in Swansea, much to my dismay. Which I'm sure there's a clip somewhere of my arse being bit. There's a picture, in fact, of my arse being bit by Little Legs. But yeah, they were so knowledgeable with it, and how to make it work and getting everything sorted. So to be fair, we didn't really have all that much say in it. But obviously they said like, oh, what kind of things do you like doing and things like that. But the only reason we were there was to make them look good, really. So it wasn't too hard. There's harder people, let's say, non-dwarf size to wrestle than they were. There's people a lot more rigid, a lot more stiff, and a lot more useless to work with. And I'm sure we both got experience with that.
Want a name?
I'm not going to drop names. I'm not going to do that. There's a few names I dropped for other things, but not for that.
Yeah, it'd be best not. Even though I do like a bit of digging. Yeah. There we go. So, yeah, that all sounds great. It's a good like learning experience as well.
Yeah.
The Dwarfanators are actually really popular. To be honest, I didn't know who they was until I see exposure. Working with them, but yeah, they from what I've seen, they all do fantastic. It seems like a great show to be at.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously for the sake of keeping this video to half an hour long, hopefully. So my last question for you, unless I think of something else, is right now in Ring Wrestling Stars, you have got this feud going on with the Edgy Veggie or the cult leader or whatever you want to call him, the Muppet or whatever, Kenny Mantra.
Hello, I am the Edgy Veggie Kenny Mantra.
So how did this start? I know you two and got booked in a match, and no, you two were friends first, if I'm right.
Yeah. So obviously he's veggie and I'm vegan, so he's you can't really commit to anything because he's half in, half out, and
he said
says it all really. But anyway, so we was tagged up. We was you guys are from Wales, you're really handsome and really strong and really thing, and you look a little bit like a BTEC Seth Rollins, so people might like you, so we put you in there as well. And I was like, yeah, I'll take him under my wing, don't worry, there's a wing there, mate, you can come under here, I'll nurture you. And we had a tag match, and we was coming for your belts, wasn't we? Because we had a number one contenders thing, because my star power alone got us in the number one contenders match. And I'm there, I'm giving all my best moves, beating him up, offering to be kids' stepdads in the corner, on the outside. And
why they would refuse, I don't know.
Their husbands are there, I think, so God knows.
Must be an
But
English thing.
I'm there, and I'm giving my best, and he cost us the match. So just lost my head a little bit. It happens to the best of us. Can't be cool, calm, collected all the time. So got a bit of a shove on, and he just called me a Love Island reject and saw red. So at the end of days then. And since then, doesn't matter where I go, he's there like hanging on my coattails, trying to be relevant. And yeah.
So this is it just RWS you two have got something?
Nah,
so is it actually everywhere? Because it only really seems to be.
Also, had a scrap up one there. Where is, I'm gonna say Toy Boy or Lover or Gimp on a lead. What's his name? What's his name? Neff Big Flem or something.
Yeah, something to do with, I don't know.
Yeah, the one who we had to have in to just to make it a bit more not cool to more edgy people would like it. But yeah, him. That weirdo. We had to have him in, and he cost me the match. Shock. He couldn't beat me on his own. And then we had a one-on-one match then in VCW as well in the North. Pop boy born and bred, and battered him, made him look silly, chucked him about for a bit, beat him up. He tried to, do his veggie power like he's bloody Scrappy Doo, and just again at the end of days, bang, lights out 1, 2, 3. So yeah, we got another match now, which has been rearranged, much to Kenny's, joy, because his career's lasting on a little bit longer. So hopefully that'll happen sometime this year, and I can put everyone out of their misery of having to endure him.
Because this is supposed to be the last last chapter of your rivalry.
Yeah, hopefully. Anyway,
I will say, I'm not trying to big him up or anything, but since this thing's come about, there is something a bit different about him, because the last match I had down RWS, he took on Kenny and Bulldog. There's something different. There is something different. I will just, I'm just gonna say that, but I would just be a little bit careful.
It's fine. It's not DQ, so
well, there we are. But I for one can't wait to see.
I'm gonna ruin him.
You think?
I'm gonna make my goal is not to pin him, not to make him tap. My goal is to beat him to the point where he begs me to stop. That's my goal.
But what if Nephilim's there? Do you think you could take both of them on if needs be?
Again, it's no DQ. I've got things already. I've got a contingency plan for. I've got a contingency plan for everything, to be fair, because when Kenny signed the contract, obviously he signed it first, and it's come over to me. So my legal team have had a read over it. You don't get this good and not have a legal team. So they've got a couple of clauses in there that Kenny signed. I'm not sure if he's checked them over, but there's a couple of contingency plans in there for me. And with regards to Nephilim, I've already got a contingency plan for him already sorted.
Oh well, fair enough.
I can't let it go too much, because I know that they've got nothing. They don't have anything to do besides make babies and watch YouTube videos. So they're gonna obviously analyze this with a fine-tooth comb. So they won't just watch it; they'll watch it again and again and again and again. But then again, so will their misses. So I don't want to let too much slip, just in case they pick up on anything.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So once you've done with Kenny, you've ended his career.
Yeah.
Be next for Mikey Fine. What's he going to be going for next?
I'm going after the belts. Either one. Don't care if it's Logan, if Casey Wilde beats it, or if I got to fight that geriatric in a mask. I'd put him back in the nursing home as well. And Mikey Two Belt sounds really good. I do like that. And I do like Becky Lynch as well. So Becky Two Belts, Mikey Two Belts. Maybe if she gets bored of Seth Rollins, we can get married. Who knows? But you never know. You never know.
You never know. She might watch this and think, actually.
Well, I did offer it at Nando's. So so a couple of years ago, I was talking with the rest of us on a group chat, and Becky Lynch come out, and I was like, oh, as you do, like, oh, I find it quite attractive, and I said I might ask you for a Nando's, and the boys were like, you wouldn't do that, so I thought absolutely will, because obviously after the WrestleMania is the WrestleMania Revenge tour, so I thought I haven't got long to wait, so I offered her for a Nando's, and she didn't even read it. I did try the next year.
She hasn't read it yet.
Yet. I like that word, yet. You never know. Who knows?
She just had a baby. Maybe she's just thinking, I
don't want this. I'd make a fantastic stepdad. But I'm not a home.
Yeah. I mean, you've told everybody in the RWS crowd, and So who is your biggest threat as of right now, in terms of wrestling wise?
There's only one. I don't want to give him the credit, but it is Kenny.
Yeah. How so?
At the moment, is Kenny, because as much as I'm prepared, and I'm slogging away in whatever I can, conditioning wise. I don't know what he's doing, because I'm a social media whore. I love this stuff. Kenny keeps everything quite, don't really hear what he's doing, and all of a sudden a video drops, and it's like, oh, that's a bit weird, isn't it? So you don't know what he's playing at. So for all I know, he could come back bigger, faster, meaner than ever before and catch me completely off guard. But he also could come back really soft. So you never know. But yeah, I'd say at the moment he's my biggest threat. That and concussions.
Yeah. Hopefully none of your concussions will affect your performance when you and Kenny.
Well, I've been out for over a year now, so I'd like to think I'm healed.
Yeah, well, hopefully. So that's my questions out of the way. So now I'm going to do. There was like I said before this video, you probably now hold the record of people entering.
Lovely.
Okay. So this, do you know what? This is going to become a thing now. So as of right now, Mikey Fine holds the title for most comments. So
thank you to my adoring public.
So I got a couple here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 or 6.
Nice.
To me, seem good ones. So first one is by Barry John Morgan. He says, "Is he sad that he can't grow a beard as good as his dad?"
Not sad, but
well, that was a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, so that's my man. He's just sad that I've got more way than him, and this is after a lockdown trim. Which, don't worry, ladies, it will be back. But it does annoy me because he's got a fun. His beard is class, to be fair. Like it's right out here. Like it rival yours, to be fair. Like it is really good. It's proper thick as well. Like
mine shit. Mine is
he's got a chin full of poos, but they come up here as well. But it's like it's decent. Like it is good beard, to be fair. And I'm not bitter. I just want to be better. So that's why I keep my hair.
Yeah, envy. I have that a lot with a lot of people. Next question is by Kai Sandbrook. Any wrestlers who are no longer active that you would love to have a match with? He asked it differently, but I just said it differently for whatever reason.
I think locally, I'd love to have fought, Andrew in his prime.
Yeah,
I'd love to have had a scrap with Andrew in his prime. Just that, that coach.
Candyman and Mikey Fine.
Candyman versus Mikey Fine. Like I think I'd kill him now. He's falling apart. I think I'd kill him now. So I'll have to beat up Luke James, LD instead. But I think, it's got to be The Rock. I think anybody who says they wouldn't want to go step in a WWE ring and go up against The Rock, Undertaker, even Ric Flair, or even Hogan, but for me, it'd be The Rock. When I started to appreciate wrestling a little bit more, it was during the peak of, it was peak Rock. And that for me is The Rock, 100%.
What about WCW when it was around?
I would say Goldberg, but I'd lose.
You know the outcome unless you're Kevin
I
Nash.
lose all the time anyway, so I think I'd go with Goldberg just to like Pete Goldberg was just a different breed. Like he was an human.
Yeah, that's all he really had going from there, wasn't it? Really, Goldberg. Have you seen the Rumble? Start of interest.
Yeah.
How bad did he look after the McIntyre match, mind?
Yeah, like I thought, because before the match, like obviously he showed about saying, he's looking jacked, man. He's looking good. And then he stood next to Drew McIntyre, and I was like, do you know what? He just looks like an old guy who's in good shape. And you've got Drew McIntyre next to him, who is an Adonis. Like, he's gorgeous. Like everything about, like, he's massive. His arms are huge. He's like, remember the shape James Drake was in a year or two ago? Was he in Veterans? He's like a 6'4", 6'6" version of him. And Drake, like James Drake's an absolute unit as well. But yeah, like he didn't look. He's just a shell of him for himself, isn't he?
Yeah, I think it's time, maybe. Anyway, next question, George Johnson. Who would win in a wrestling match, Boris or Trump?
Ooh, it's like asking to bring out a Eugene and R-Truth.
Yeah.
Because Trump is friends with McMahon, I'm going to say in WWE it'd be Trump. However,
and he's clotheslined Vince McMahon as well.
And he has
yeah.
I'm going to go Trump just because he's got that experience. Although Boris Johnson did take that Japanese kid down when he was playing rugby.
That is brilliant.
That shoulder charge. But yeah, I'm going to go Trump.
They are George. There's this thing. Kieran Green, what promotions would you want to work for or return to?
I want to go Dragon Pro. I want to go there and I want to verse Brendan White.
There we go.
I want to verse 100%. I've already spoken to him about it, and there's a few things in the works to get it done. It'd be a while, but that for me, Dragon Pro, 100%. I'd like to get on. I like to get on Carnage. I like to get on. Get back to Slam Masters when that's back on. What else? I'd love to go up to Coventry as well with and have a scrap with Casey Wild up there, because can't have a scrap with him in Wales. But I'd love.
Or JJ Roberts.
Love to scrap JJ. But JJ's obviously going to be wrestling. Well, apparently he's rumored to be wrestling in Wales again.
Apparently he wants me.
Yeah.
Again, round two.
I'd pay good money to see that. I would pay those coins.
That's still a bit of a wage, I suppose.
The balloons are worth a fortune now.
Yeah.
Especially with a pirate shanty craze going on.
Don't know what that is. I've seen it around, but I don't know what it is.
That's just off TikTok. Get on TikTok if you're not. And yes, Mikey Fine is on TikTok. It's class.
Look there. So Mikey Fine versus Brendan White, Dragon Pro.
That's honestly, I think everyone's like, obviously, as soon as you step foot in a ring, your goal is to be WWE. I think for me, a realistic goal for me, because if he doesn't end up in New Japan, Ring of Honor, somewhere, WWE, I'll be amazed. Absolutely amazed. Like, the boy is phenomenal. He's an absolute animal. He's one of the strongest people I've seen in real life. Like, he was benching 140 before lockdown, and I was like, with a couple of months of training, and I was like, mate, you're just unreal. Obviously, he's going to like the fact that I'm calling him big and strong and hard. But I think a realistic thing would be to have a scrap with him before he takes over the world, because he is class, to be fair. I know I'm supposed to be saying that I'm class, but he is sick.
It's good, so good. You say what you want on here. That's how it always goes. Dan Kerry, what was the real reason why you didn't get on Love Island?
I just haven't heard back yet. So the first time I ever applied, I didn't have enough followers on the gram. So since then it's just been a case of waiting, really. And it could be COVID, it could be I'm just too good looking and they want to give everyone else a chance, but it still not a reject because they haven't said no.
Well done. Last question by your bitter enemy, Kenny Mantra.
Brilliant.
Will we ever stop fighting each other? And that's in his little text template.
Oh, he's trying to be cool when he's like copy and pasted off a website and I'm edgy. I hope so, because he does my head in. I just can't put up with him anymore. Like everything about like it's like, remember it got to the point in WWE where like John Cena and Randy Orton, like two of the goats, absolute goats, but like they were just scrapping all the time, weren't they? And you just knew what was going to happen. That's what I feel like with him now. Like I know what he's going to do before he knows, and he knows what I'm going to do before I know.
But do you know the match outcome?
Yeah, I win.
And Kenny, do you reckon Mike is winning? Yeah, that's for him to comment below.
Yes.
Like your picture behind you. That's your own view.
That is me. So that is from Todd the Fox Art. He's also done pieces for High and Mighty and LD James. I'll give him a plug if you do want to check him out, he's class. I've also got a picture of Becky Lynch that he's done somewhere. I had a Hulk Hogan sticker and a couple of other things. I'm not sure where my Becky Lynch picture is because I've had to rearrange my room to accommodate some new additions. But yeah, it's class. Honestly sick.
Very good. That's it. That concludes the rambles.
Jochen Vau.
Is there anything else you'd like to shout out or plug or whatever before we go?
Kenny sucks. And follow CueBall and everything, and obviously Mikey Fine as well.
There we go. Yeah, so like Mikey said, go and follow him. Get him on Love Island. Hashtag get him on Love Island. Mikey for Love Island or whatever fucking
That would be the dream.
That'd be pretty cool, to be fair. So yeah, anyway, that's been Mikey Fine. Thanks for coming on, pal. I've been CueBall. Stay positive. Thanks for watching. Hashtag yeah.